Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hearthstone. It is April Fool's Day as of this recording and things are not going great with the new update to Hearthstone Deck Tracker, and the Whisper of the Old Gods pre-purchase stuff just seems like it's not happening. Maybe if I had pre-purchased this with $50 I could have opened the packs, but it must then hold it in some kind of secret like storage area inside the program, because you certainly can't see them as somebody who hasn't pre-purchased them. There's no way to go into crafting mode and see what these cards are. It feels like Hearthstone's website is just still slowly trickling out the cards and announcing things too, so that seems weird. It has nothing really to do about with what we're doing today, other than the fact that I thought today would be the day, if not yesterday. It's April 1st, May 31st. Am I getting something wrong here? January, February, March, April. Is that it? Let's see. Let's see, what can I do? I pull up the calendar. If I went back, March 31st. Oh, I see. Okay, I see what I'm doing wrong. May 31st is 2 months from now. Ooh. What ridiculousness is that? So March 31st was what I was thinking, and it's May 31st. Interesting. Alright, whatever. I am an idiot. As far as time, we need to play Priest and Warlock ranked runs and get some victories. Let's hop into the game. Priest. Show me your Priest. Start playing. Give me that. Go ahead and turn on the Hearthstone deck tracker to auto select decks, and hopefully it will auto select decks, but I'm not sure it will. Okay, so now that makes a lot of explanations a lot more sense. It also probably means I don't need to worry about an expansion coming out anytime soon, which is great news because I've been so far behind. So I can just get the Hearthstone videos that I need to record done today. I can then run back and try to work more on half-minute hero.
In the light's name.
Job done. That'll work nicely also. I can try and finish half-minute hero. And then move on to the next game. There's no big change as far as the schedule or anything that I need to do on as far as my channel. Everything seems to be set well and programmed well. So, well, pretty well set, pretty well programmed. I'm not super far ahead. I don't know if it really would benefit me anything to make a super like complicated list of this show should go here, this show should go here. I could see myself at some point in the future trying to make a production argument that way, having the standard thing you've seen in like movies and TV shows where they have shows and calendars and they're moving the shows all around to advertise and counter advertise. So like one night has a sci-fi show, so let's not put our sci-fi show at the same time because it's new and we may lose audience, or our show is better and we'll get more audience, so let's put it up against the other guy so they lose viewers and stuff like that. It's kind of silly. You can argue both sides to that example I just made, but that's really how it goes sometimes.
In the light's name.
So yeah, it's called programming and counter-programming. I could see the argument for that, and for me that would be like, I've got this puzzle game or this puzzle game or this puzzle game to play, and thematically these puzzle games are slightly different, so because in the same time I'm releasing this puzzle game, I'm also doing this point-and-click adventure game, and they would be too similar or not similar enough. Things like that. An argument like that could be made. Of course, all of that really just isn't. I'm not to that level.
Face the light.
The best example of me doing something similar to that is the Halloween month. That's about all we could do. I didn't get any thumbnails from my artist as far as doing a Happy April Fool's video. Honestly, probably for the better. Because I don't want to do April Fools on my channel. I just want it to be a regular day. I think all the April Fools things are dumb and they're just not imaginative. Even the good ones just encourage the bad ones to continue, which is not something I want. Let's see.
My fate is sealed.
In the light's name.
So, if I was to do a Happy April Fool's Day thing, that would be just like I do Happy Easter and Happy Christmas and all of that. I don't know if I'm gonna do any more of those at all. Anyways, they didn't get any views, but then again, my channel doesn't have that many subscribers or anything either, so all of those things kind of have to work together.
Fine, I'll want. My fate is sealed.
Guess I could have done that to that guy and then killed him. More work needs to be done, but really for the first time it does feel like it's me that's the dropping the ball, because it's me that's not recording videos because I'm too busy. I can't blame it on anybody else. I can't say, well, I don't have any artistic skill, therefore it's my artist's fault that I'm not getting these things done. Getting art things done. Let's see.
Fine, I want.
So yeah, that's on me. And certainly there's tons of stuff I could do as far as cutting up videos, making mix matches, doing post-productions, doing editing, all kinds of things I could do, but then they would only get more in the way of me actually recording, and right now it's just all needs to be recording. There's still a ton of games to get to play, to deal with. Let's go and kill this guy, I guess.
Fine.
I'm hurting myself each time I do that, but whatever. I probably should have just focused on the face. I'm not ready for it at all, but the time certainly will come when I've just played all the old games. It wouldn't be I'd played all the games, it will be to the point where it's like, well, there really isn't any old games I haven't covered that I really wanted to cover, that I also, let's see,
Fine,
this,
I'll
heal,
fine, I'll want.
yeah, I have all the like Hitman games, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna go any further behind than Absolution in a lot of perspectives when you look at Hitman. When I look at it, it's a series I never really had any interest in playing myself. I got and simply played for the new one. I played Absolution in anticipation of the Hitman reboot. The Hitman reboot is out, and they're going to release the next expansion in like I think a couple of months, but maybe even a lot longer than a couple of months.
Fine, I'll want.
And if that is the case, that it's
Fine,
a lot longer than a couple of months, even in a couple of months, it's questionable whether that game's gonna work. There is a good reason why people don't chop up games into the seasonal, over a year we're going to release things. It's even why we have like DLC comes out very quickly now. It's why people think the DLC is just cut out of the game, which it sometimes feels like it is, and sometimes almost certainly is. But also because the DLC is to catch people's attention, and 60 hours after the release of a 60-hour game, there is a percentage of people. It's probably not a big percentage, but there is a percentage of people who've done everything in that game and want more. And those are the people that are most likely to buy a DLC at the highest price ever.
Fine, I want.
There we go. That worked out kind of nice. Nope, that didn't work out as nice as I had hoped. Well, in 8 turns I could just hit him in the face with my power. So yeah, there may be games on my Steam account that just are like that I never play. Honey Pop may be one of them. After doing several bad games, I think Honey Pop is something that I'm mentally pushing further and further to the back burner. I didn't know that's gonna take a lot of editing anyways. That's something that would be better covered unless they announce they're making a sequel to it. It would be something that's better to wait until I'm really just free of time. There's 10 health. And a lot of games are turning out to be like Downwell. Show what they did at Dad Simulator. Downwell's kind of annoying. I think I probably paid more of a premium for that than I should have to play that game. So it's always worth reminding myself that the goal here is not to just have every single game on Steam. The goal here is to cover games that really need coverage. That's why I haven't really played any free-to-play games or mentioned them. Like I'm playing the Clash Royale on my cell phone, but I'm not reviewing that because it would be difficult, but I wouldn't review it anyways because it's a free-to-play game and there's really not much you can say. It's fun for 5 seconds, and then you're disappointingly left unable to really play the game at all for 4 hours at least, which is no fun.
Are you afraid of the dark? Job's done.
Let's see if I can survive this next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nah, Bloodlust. Bloodlust wins it for him. Let's get some Warlock footage here too, since we're trying to win with Warlock. And that's a ranked 23. Still lose. I wish I didn't have to go into those rants over and over again. I wish, and I'm trying not to go into those rants, but I mean, it's just loss after loss after loss.
Gul'dan versus Uther.
I guess pretty obvious I'm not a very competitive person. That I don't want that form of competition. Let's see, in my own personal life, let's see, I don't think I've ever, except for once, willingly entered any competition. Now there were some competitions like in school, high school and junior high, where they would make us play like sports in gym and stuff against people, but willingly, the only thing I intentionally joined was our local arcade was giving away a pinball thing to whoever had the biggest score, and I entered it as a very young kid with very high hopes and expectations, and was not anywhere good enough to get the high score. I talked to the person that I assume won, and he said it was an adult who was working in the mall where the arcade was, and he would come out like every day and play it, and he was really good at it, and for his effort he deserved to win against those rules, which I don't know, it would have been great to win a pinball game, but in all honesty, I don't even know if my parents would have let me keep it, being a big old thing. But they let me enter it, but I assume that one would assume that they knew and were just being nice and not telling me. There. They mishandled it, certainly, because I really went into the competition thinking I had a chance to win, a decent chance, and it wasn't a lottery system or anything, it was literally who had the highest score. But it was also kind of a fun competition too, because you paid like $10 and to enter the competition, and you could play as much as you want, but then it was also sort of like you could play one game and then you waited for the next person to play one game, and so the next person would take an hour, well probably not an hour, but close to an hour to play one game. It was Star Trek The Next Generation was the pinball. But anyways, I'm getting on a slight rant off topic there. It's that's the only competition I ever entered. That's the only competition I really wanted. Well, I guess not exactly true. There was definitely some online like raffles, and I do those all the time. People on my Twitter sometimes see me retweet things to get free games or other items. like the DX Racer, I'm still trying to win that, or Gunner's Optics, I'm trying to win that. Because they're both pretty expensive things. And I did win a Wii from a competition
The light
where
protects.
it was like, I think Black Friday or something, and like you entered this thing online and you won a Wii, and so I won a Wii when the close to the Wii came out. I think I may have won a T-shirt once, but those were kind of random things. That's not actually me having to compete at anything. There's a big difference between a competition where you actually have to have some skill or ability, and a competition where you're just completely randomly picked.
Job done.
I suppose I've won several Twitter things where people put codes up and you get the codes. I think I got another one. So it's been like 2 now where I think I've gotten
Truth is my
2 games. They all go in my file of got free games, and I don't really look at that list right now. Right now I'm playing other games that I bought. Maybe it's kind of the bottom of the bucket to get the got free games, which is that's probably right and probably wrong at the same time. Some of the games I get free are probably fine games. They just are games I've never heard of. But then there are also games I've never heard of, so that either means they're very obscure and not that good, or they're just very obscure or very new for some other reason. Let's see.
Right on time. I can
Go ahead and draw a card, I guess. There we go. I don't think I'm gonna win this. Speaking of competitions, but no, there was a couple others.
Reporting for duty.
But the truth of the competitions is they really just don't work for me. I hate them. At the core of them, if I have to think about them, I really, really hate them. Because only one of more than one, a lot of people is going to win. And what you win is usually not very good. Now that pinball table would have been really good. That you're talking $2,000 to $8,000 prize there. That's big time. And I think the guy that won it said he was gonna just stick it in his friend's bar or something like that. I'm like, you're not even taking it home. You're not even gonna enjoy it. Annoyingly. But I just don't like it. I don't like that experience. I don't like hoping and then losing. It's not fun for anybody, I don't think. But people seem to do it. And there can only be one person that's the best, and I'm sure I might be the best at something. But maybe I'm not. Maybe when you put a prize on the line, somebody else will always step forward and just be better than you. Also, a lot of the competition things I was in was
Shields up.
You're just too young for it, and I kind of get the whole thought of everybody gets a participation prize, and there are no winners or losers to some of these kiddie sport things, kids soccer and all.
I must move quickly.
It kind of makes sense that the only people that are really determined to say that they are winners or losers are the people that probably, I would assume, won when they were kids, and that's a real small group. Yeah. I don't know if I exactly agree with how that whole thing works.
Running the program. Stay on target.
There is something that also needs to be done about just retiring the best of the people. Because otherwise you'll run into the issue where the same person wins all of the competitions. And whatever the competition is.
Reporting for duty.
So like if you become a chess grandmaster, you should probably not be allowed to enter the lower ranks of chess games anymore. And frankly, if you become the champion, you should just be the champion of that year forever and just retire at your peak. Be forced into retirement at your peak. So other people have a chance. We don't need like a Shaquille O'Neal basketball style player that's always going to win. I don't even know if this is a good example or not, but that level of thinking where it's there would just always be somebody. Let's go ahead and hit this one too. This one's a mech. This one's mech. This one's a mech. This one dies. At the end of your turn, destroy this minion if it's the only one. Oh, so as long as I have some minions, that's fine. But yeah, I just don't enjoy competition. And that's all this is just competition. That's all Hearthstone is. It is designed to make me compete against somebody else. And because I'm competing against somebody else, I'm losing.
Reporting for duty.
I'm losing 60, what? 59% here of the time. 59% of the time I lose on this deck that I'm playing right now. That's what the Hearthstone deck tracker says. And that just is awful.
Running the program.
So hit that one. Go and hit that one. Go ahead and do that. End the turn. Interesting. Interesting combination of the characters here. So good thing I killed two of them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have kept even one leper gnome.
The victory is yours.
Nice. I think what they've got to do is they've got to fix Hearthstone here. They've got to throw in some AI people. That's all you can do. Just throw in AI people. The only other thing I could think possibly would be just at random intervals have both people win.
Versus Garage. Victory or
Just
death.
like as it starts, it just says free victory for everybody. And I think that would just feel icky to some people if it said free victory and let both people win. You could potentially try to remove some of the ickiness if just like a present appeared and it was a big old pile of gold or a big old pile of dust. That would be nice, actually. That would be cool. Or a free pack. Anything that was just this random thing that happened. But the free victories for the game itself seems a little too icky. Seems a little too manipulative. So the only way you can get around that is to put an AI character against people and have it hopefully play well enough so that people don't obviously recognize it as an AI, but still lose always. So we could get from the around 50% win-loss ratio up to something closer to a 75-80% ratio. 90-99% of the time. I play all kinds of video games where you just win by default. You can go through all the game and never die. You can go through most of the game and die only once, or all the game and die only once. Bayonetta is an incredibly difficult game to get high levels on, and yet I don't think I actually died in that game, but maybe once or twice when I first played it. Whereas anytime you lose in Hearthstone, that's a death. That means around 50% of the time I die. Like, if you were playing Mario Brothers and 50% of the time you died, you'd be a really bad Super Mario Bros. Player. If you were playing Halo and 50% of the time you died, you'd be a really bad Halo player. None of those games would be fun. Almost no game would be fun at 50% death. And this isn't an exception either. This game is not fun because of its just high loss ratio. And I'm sure the legendary people get 99% victories, and that's why they're the legendary people. And I'm sure on Twitch it's great to watch those people win all the time. But for an average player, which is what this is, average players are having a horrible time. At least I am. But also, the quest system doesn't help anything at all. It makes it just worse. The requirement to keep on coming back to get gold, to get better cards, to potentially play better and win. The whole cycle is awful. There should be rewards for coming back after you haven't played the game for 10 days. That reward should go up and up and up. If you played the game once and came back in a year, you should get like a significant amount of gold. Things that just catch you up and say, hey, we missed you. We want you to come back. We want you to still be able to play with all these other players. But it's the exact opposite of that happens. It's
Fine.
Oh, you didn't play in 3 days? Well, then you lost the quest. Therefore, you lost at least 40 gold potential that you earned. And because you lost 40 gold, that's almost half of what you would need to get to craft one card or buy one pack. Yeah, 40 gold would be almost half to buy a 100 gold pack.
What you want?
So that pack with 5 cards in it, which is garbage too, should be more cards than 5.
Don't mess with Tusk.
I don't think you go buy a Magic the Gathering pack and there's 5 cards in a foil pack. Maybe there is, but I don't think so. Maybe Magic the Gathering kind of cheats there too. That might be a thing. They might give you a land card in every pack. That Pokemon did that.
Fine, I'll wand.
That stuff, you'd get so many land cards, it was ridiculous.
Well played.
As one thing I do like about Hearthstone is that there's no land cards, and the mana thing is just very consistent, very understandable that each turn you're gonna have +1 mana, and there's very little to change that. What do we want to do?
How many fingers do you see?
Fine, I'll one.
Feel my pain.
Job done.
There we go. I think we're set good now. What else is there to talk about, though? I should have just played off screen. I so should have played off screen and just gotten all the quests done. Last recording session we just gave kind of, is it giving up? Is that the right term? Or simply determined that it would have been a good idea, that there was just nothing more to talk about, so I stopped talking and got all the quests and things done off screen, which
Does this hurt?
was definitely a first for me,
I'll one.
but it may be exactly how we end this recording session too. I'm too far ahead as far as Hearthstone videos compared to everything else, which means I just need to get everything else done. Obviously, if I was consistently making 3 videos every 3 days for every other time slot,
Charge forward!
it should be balanced, but that's just not the case. What's happening is every 3 days I might get 6 or 8 videos for one time slot, but I really needed somewhere closer to 30 videos in total made.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Do I want to play this? Let's go ahead and play it here.
Job's done.
Alright, that should do us fine. Because I can play this, do this, and this. And that should work in the next couple of moves. I don't know what else there is to talk about. April Fool's certainly gets in the way, because even if I see something on the news, I don't know what to talk about it or not. It's such a pain in the butt. How do you get rid of April Fools is the question. You would have to have you'd have to have basically like a 9/11 style attack on April 1st, and it's only really a matter of time until something like that happens, because terrorists seem to be really fixated on having the date be an impactful date that's easy to remember.
Are you afraid of the dark?
So, yeah, if we had
In the light's name.
attack on April 1st, that may finally just get people to stop doing April Fools. And that would be good. But I can't see anything else. I can't see them creating a new holiday on April 1st and trying to override it, or just making it completely illegal to do April Fool's jokes at all. I could see it on a corporate level. I mean, if I was doing IT or something, I'm sure so many people are gonna try to April Fools do pranks on their coworkers. So if I was working IT, I could certainly say, these are all fireable offenses. If you do any of this, you're gonna get fired. Type things. If I had the power to make such a proclamation. But that doesn't stop anybody from
How many fingers do you see?
doing whatever they want to do the rest of the day or posting. The news people are part of the problem.
Face the light.
The online news people was simply just not so willing to sell out they're literally selling out their credibility when they do these April Fool's things. It's ridiculous. That if you want to be a news presenter, if you want to be a journalist, you can't sell out your credibility and say, today I'm going to lie. Today I'm going to report something that's not fact. It just doesn't work that way. April Fool's doesn't inoculate you from proving yourself willing to lie to get views on your page or article.
Watch.
That's why I would never do an April Fool's
Your soul shall be mine.
thematic review of a game. If I was gonna do anything like that, it would have to be a game that is centered around, or at least has the element of April Fool's. I would have to probably cover it just on that day, which would probably be an impossibility. And I would still do it very straightly. Just review it like I review all other games. I had a weird dream, which is always weird when I remember dreams, where I was covering a game. This is dumb. I'm having a dream about doing my job, but I was covering a game and simply just not talking, and I could just recognize that in myself, and I'm like, I haven't said anything, and it's been 20 minutes, and I'm just sitting here, and we're just playing the game, and I'm like, this isn't criticism at this point. It's I'm just playing a game. I'm just doing a let's play at this point, which is not what I want to do with my channel. There's a reason and intent behind my incessant talking. And of course, if people don't want to hear my talking but want to see my gameplay, they always turn me down and mute the video. I don't think YouTube cares, particularly. I think they only care if you see the ad, they don't care if you hear an ad. And so many ads are pop-up banner ads anyways. But I don't know if they have any metric at all that says this was the volume level that this was listened to and all that. That would be an interesting thing if I could ever get somebody like YouTube to tell me if that was true or not, but they won't. Certainly. Probably wouldn't. But yeah. So that kind of is one of my fears. I just don't want to go quiet. I just don't want to be recording footage and sitting here and not saying anything. It certainly happens. Half-Minute Hero is a good example where it's the same gag every time. Every level, you have 30 seconds to beat the level. It's a funny in concept. It's hard by the time you're as far as I am into recording it to say, alright, let's say something new and have something new to say right now. So, yeah, it certainly happens. It's also one of the reasons why I try not to get into super grindy things. It could certainly be a problem in a game like Borderlands, too. If we are just, if I'm just sitting there and letting the game talk the whole time, I may not have a lot of criticism to give it. In fact, I may not have a lot of criticism to give it anyways, because I kind of love that game. And then I'm gonna go back and play it and probably hate it. So there's definitely some issues and some fears and things like that. Let's see. We'll go ahead and draw this. Can I play this? No. This would do 2 damage to him. Go ahead and do this, and then return.
Mind if I roll knee?
What's the worst thing I could do on my channel? That's an interesting question to think about. What's the worst thing I could do to alienate my audience? I would think it would be probably alienating my audience. I don't really feel like being super consistent and being really pushing out tons of videos hurts my channel at all. I think that's, if I'm ever going to be successful, that's probably the secret to my success, is being very consistent, releasing coverage of games that are slightly different because they're from a retrospective thought right now. But I do also want to start participating in covering new games eventually. A lot of people are going back to Minecraft. There was one Minecraft map I did want to play, but I don't want to get around to it. This Minecraft map where it's a resource pack where all the colors are taken out, and you have to do certain goals to then be allowed to put in a resource pack that would bring back red and bring back yellow, and so you're trying to get all the colors, and it is a cool looking thought and a good way, if they get it to work on 1.9, it would be a good way to reintroduce yourself to Minecraft. But yeah, that's gonna be probably never happen at this rate. It might, but it's not likely. I've got so many other games to go back to Minecraft seems silly. Anywho, we are done with this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. I'm gonna get one Warlock victory off screen, and then we would need just one victory to finish this, and one victory with the priest to finish this, and one victory with the Warlock to finish this. So we're putting our eggs in one basket, maybe two, to get what we need done, all done in the next recording. Thank you for watching, though. Have a good evening.